Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my personal brow routine. Not that I think that it's anything crazy or anything. So just keep watching if you want to see how I do my brows. I'm not going to go into like how I wax my brows and shit like that. I'm just going to tell you how I fill them in on the daily, okay? So really quickly before I actually start doing my brows, I just want to give a quick brow mapping lesson. This is basically how you find the perfect shaped brow for your face. Okay, so you can just take any brow pencil is what I like to do, and a Q-tip. They will work. Okay, so now that I have you guys zoomed in, it's a little bit easier to see here. So I'm just going to take the Q-tip and I'm going to go right on the side of my nose here and go straight up and just make a line on the inside of that Q-tip. This is where you want your brow to start. Okay, so if you take your Q-tip and you go diagonal through your pupil, right here, you're going to find your arch, which it's kind of, yeah. I don't know if you saw that. Okay, it might be easier if you just take like a makeup brush because it's a little bit longer, okay? So you go on the side of your nose and go diagonal through the pupil. You find your arches right here. So I'm just gonna make that line like that. And when you go on the side of your nose, the side of your eye, and then you go straight up, that is about where your brow should end. So basically you want to just connect the dots there, but there's a process to doing that as well. That's just the basic tricks on brow mapping yourself at home. Okay, so let's get into filling them. I'm not going to go into like how I wax my own brows and like that kind of stuff because then I'd just be here forever. So when I'm doing my own brows, I always like to just take the other end of my brow pencil, which today we're going to be using the new Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in shade 4. So I like to just comb them down first so I can see the outer edge, because I like to just emphasize my arch first, and my outside arch always needs a little bit of help. Now you just want to remember when you're filling in your brows, you want to make sure you're going in an upward motion and not straight. Otherwise you're going to end up with those box brows and your face is just going to look slumped. We want your face, you want to be like more angled upwards. This is going to make your eyelid look bigger. So you have that angled upwards, and now I'm just going to round it out there. And kind of flick it out towards the end. And as you get to the end, you want to just go lighter and lighter with your pressure on the pencil. Same thing as you get more inwards, you just want to get a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter. Okay. We're going to brush those babies up. And I always like this bottom line to be very detailed and precise. Now we're just going to make that bottom line. And then meet out the tail. Okay, so from here I'm just going to comb through my brows again. I like to pretty much constantly comb through my brows because I want them to have a certain softness to them. I don't want them to be too over-defined and crisp. Otherwise I just feel like they're a little bit too dramatic for my personal liking. Now, step 2, I'm going to take the Benefit Brow Brow Gel. This is in shade number 3. Now we're going to take a hard angle brush. And we're just going to dip right into that. Now I like to start the beginning of my brow off with this, since it is a little bit softer than my number 4 pencil. And we're just going to fill that in. And go back over the arch. Now you can see I'm filling in a little bit right here where I don't have too much hair on my tail. Okay, now real quick I'm going to take some concealer with a concealer brush. And I'm just going to clean up the edges, which this is something that I normally do anyways. I don't usually have this much to clean up, but since I showed you guys my brow mapping technique, it is a little bit messier than usual. And we're just going to sculpt that out. Now, I predominantly like to do this at the tail area, just so I can really define the arch, because I do like to be softer in the front and more defined in the tail. And this just gives it that more precise look. Now, if you're like me and you want something a little extra, I'm going to go back in with my pencil and I'm just going to refill in that tail a little bit and flick it out a little extra. For finishing technique, I'm going to be putting on a little bit of the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Love this shit, guys. I love it. This literally, I mean, it just puts your brows in place all day long. It like glues them down, they're not going anywhere. But the only thing about this is you do have to be a little bit careful not to get that outside of your brow perimeter because it will smudge it up. In the front, I always like to brush them upwards so they look a little fuller. So a couple other little things that are just coming to me while I'm doing my other brow is when you're doing your brows, especially on the underside, you want to make sure to, and these are my personal opinions, if your brows are different, then you do them differently. That's on you. You do what you do, boo-boo. I just do what I do, and I just tell you what I do. But especially for the underside, you want to make sure that it goes right after here. You want to make sure that it goes straight and it doesn't have that hook effect where a lot of brows have, you know, right here it'll go straight, but then it'll hook up, like you can see a little bit. It's very common in brows after you have this frontal part that it hooks up and it kind of swings upwards and then you create this curve. But if you want a more structured and defined brow, in my own opinion, you want to make sure that this is straight and you want to fill that in and you just want to go straight. All right, guys, that wraps it up for today. That is my personal brow routine. Don't think it's anything that extraordinary, but that is just what I do. Hopefully, maybe you guys found something new that you want to try out or do or something. I don't know, but that'd be awesome. But anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.